The Being Counted a Boss podcast is powered by Expert. Expert is the AI data and workflow management kit for bookkeepers and accountants, keeping your data clean and boosting productivity. Automate manual bookkeeping checks and streamline your entire workflow. Expert is your trusted sidekick, tirelessly checking the data for errors and helping you manage workflow easily. Process, visibility, and data quality control in one AI-driven system. If you're interested in trying Expert for free, visit our website at www.expert.io, where you can start a 2-week free trial.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 5 of the Being Counted a Boss podcast powered by Expert. So we're on episode 5, and we've kind of gone through a bit of the journey, talking about sort of how you're going out on your own and stuff. But one thing that I think always comes up in conversation is, how do you start winning clients? So that's what we're going to talk about today, is winning clients from zero to a full book. Some of the things that we might cover off is sort of networking and marketing strategies, and how you've built out sort of referral streams, or how you get referrals from some of your clients. And we've obviously spoken a little bit about your guys' sort of different journeys into accounting. Like James, you kind of almost inherited a practice a little bit, and Amy, you kind of did that side hustle piece. But let's jump into it first of all. Like, how did you Amy, I think this is probably more relevant for you. Like, how did you actually get those first few clients in that side hustle? Was there any tactics there, or was it like they fell in your lap or something?
Well, actually, it was one person, a friend that was in construction industry, that had been told that he had to go off and do a limited company. It was when they had this massive big companies trying to get subcontractors to have their own limited companies. And he obviously knew I was an accountant, and he was like, help me. I was like, sure. And then I said, oh, this is how much we quote at work. He was like, no, I can't afford that. Like, okay, I'll help, seeing as your friend. And yeah, so it started with him, and then he started taking on subcontractors. So I started doing the CIS return piece, and then I was doing their tax returns, and it just kind of developed from there. So it was all friends that were deciding to go out on their own that I was helping. My work were very much aware that I was doing this. They had a separate personal tax department, and a lot of these people were sole traders, so just did personal tax. So they were happy for me to do it, and it actually complemented work quite well. So yeah, it started with friends of friends. And then when I decided to leave, that's when I ramped it up. Leave employment, that's when I wrapped it up and went, okay, hi, I need to let people know that I'm here, because I knew I have lots of friends, but the friends pool was drying up a little bit. I needed a little bit more than that. So that's when I went on this marketing journey, which to this day I still have not nailed, and tried many different things. Today, most of my client base is word of mouth, but I do have other different avenues which I'm sure we'll explore.
Nice. And James, obviously your journey was a little bit different, but I'm sure you still had to go through that sort of getting some clients initially, or introducing yourself and working through those referrals.
Yeah, it was obviously, it was James's thing that I was helping in. It was actually my friends, like Amy's, who started to come to me sort of saying, could I look after them? I put them under James's name, and I did the work, and James took the glory, effectively. But yeah, so, and then, yeah.
You've got the wrong James on this podcast.
Right, yeah. I'm going to go then. I'll see you later. So that's how it started. And literally, it like Amy, there's the referrals from friends, and then it just got to that point where it was just, I remember being audit manager where I was and trying to do what was with James. It just got to the point where I was like, I've got to make a decision. This is getting too much. I'm doing long audits, and then in the evenings trying to catch up with where we were. So I took the decision to go full time, and that's like Amy just had decided to go and get myself out there, and basically did haul myself out there as much as I could. And where we are, where there are a few established practices around here. So is what can we do differently? So that's what we tried to show. But how do you go and market that? That's really difficult, because obviously like I say, a lot of firms around here, around my way, are very prestige, got the reputation. So what do we do differently? And that's the one thing we just try to show.
Yeah, nice. And what did that? I'm not going to coin your phrase, but what did getting out there look like? I'm not going to say what you.
Yeah, well, yeah, you know me, I don't hold back, do I? So that's a bit of a problem. Putting myself out there is the correct way of saying it. I just was, I say going not necessarily to networking events, but more talking to other businesses, approaching them, kind of being direct is the best way of doing it. Like I'm getting myself out of my comfort zone. So yes, I know I'm confident. I'll come across as confident, but put me in a room of people I don't know, and I'm very like, oh no, they're going to pull me apart. Suffer with imposter syndrome quite a lot. So I really worked hard on myself to be direct to people and also listen to what they want from accountants. That kind of got the conversation going. So we didn't necessarily win those clients, but it got me my head round what people are expecting. So when we did have that initial discussion with a potential prospect, I'd already gone through that almost like that process of where we go. How do I lead the conversation to get what they want from both sides, get from it? And so I kind of put myself out there talking to people right from the start.
Nice. And Amy, what did that look like for you, sort of getting out there? What were you doing?
I was not networking like James was. It took me a lot to kind of get into the networking thing. I was much happier behind my Facebook and LinkedIn, to be honest. When I was employed, I never touched LinkedIn. We all had one.
Yeah.
We were all told to have one by the marketing team,
Yeah.
but we didn't do it. And like and share. But you did it once a year and went, what's my password? I don't know what it is.
And share, can't say anything. You can't say this, you can't say that. And
yeah, just like and share. I started a Facebook page. I was trying to think when I did, but I had started it before I decided to leave. So I had the Hancock and Hastings Facebook page, and I was starting to do things. And it was clients. I probably have maybe not even 200 people that follow that Hancock and Hastings Facebook page. But when I decided to go, that's when I kind of started sharing into the local groups. I've never worked in the town that I live in. I've always worked outside because I'm quite a small town. So local businesses didn't know who I was. So I started to share in the groups, just little hints and tips and things on there. So actually I got quite a stream of people through the Facebook page. And then it turned out we knew of the same people because I've never left the town I live in. So we knew the same people and whatnot. So then that's when the connections have been made, and I'm still making the connections locally. I've only got this office 5 months ago. So I actually have a presence in the town now, which I've never had before. So it's still getting to know people. I did eventually start going to networking. But I've filtered out the ones that you have to do a pitch. I would not do a 60-second pitch. No, I will not go. A BNI is not for me.
And again, pitch slapped.
I was like, could do that.
God, I'd run. I would run.
Idea.
People see me and they see me as like I'm quite bubbly and quite extrovert. I've been lucky that I haven't suffered with imposter syndrome. I had to ask James what it meant. It sounds really bad. And well, this is going back a couple of years because I've never experienced it. So I was quite happy to be up on stage. I know I have to have a panel. I couldn't stand up and do it myself. No way. So I kind of know where I sit, but that doing the stage talks has really helped my audit side. So my audit side is getting to know accountants, and that's my LinkedIn. So when I started to do LinkedIn, the posts that I was doing on Facebook was not landing. I was connected with my old clients, and I was a non-compete, so I did have to delete them. And then I was just connected with accountants because of the audit, and it just didn't work. So I had to have 2 different strategies to each social media platform, and they attract clients on the Facebook side, and and accountants on the LinkedIn side. So it's taken a while to get there. But yeah, mostly word of mouth. Word of mouth gets you anywhere. And if you can have some kind of referral scheme in place, which I'm just implementing now, the hotel chocolat. I was doing hotel chocolates every time you do referred, but it's kind of the novelty's worn off. So we're going to go monetary value now off of the fees.
Nice.
Yeah, for our clients
Yeah,
referring.
it's interesting, isn't it? With the when you say you got your different platforms with to target what you need, because we've gone, obviously we rebranded, and obviously GTA is a part of the Grand Theft Auto. I've really tried to push on that, and been very lucky that actually I've got someone, Kelly, who does the marketing, who's listened and gone away and come back with some ideas, and just for me taking it to a whole new level. Something that we are starting to gain some traction on actual Instagram, which is before we've never really had. And there's a purpose behind it, because what we're trying to do down here is around September time is to do an MTD income tax seminar for people. But the old-fashioned way of posting leaflets isn't going to work. Putting posters up isn't going to work. So she's devised a strategy to get our name out there a lot more. And by doing that is by viewing social media. So the posts are away from the norm for us, but incorporating the GTA theme graphics. And it's something I wouldn't have dreamed, I wouldn't have known, I wouldn't have thought of. But it's again, it's opened our eyes and gone, oh, we can go, we now can look at our marketing strategy in 6 months' time and go, actually, we can start to steer down this route. So it is quite interesting.
Yeah, I think as well, a lot of business owners put it on themselves. They need to know everything about everything straight away. Like you just said, you don't know about marketing, you don't know about HR, or know about what those sorts of things. Right? Lean on people that are in your network. They might even be clients, right?
Yeah.
Essentially, I've got a client that's a marketing agency. Why would you not use them as your marketing agency, or at least to help you? One of the things that I wanted to cover off in this, and you mentioned it at the start, Amy, with like friends coming to you for advice and stuff. How do you stop that? Because like giving away free advice is like the biggest bugbear of mine in this industry anyway, as a whole. But like
I've not managed it.
Everybody's guilty of it, right? Everybody's guilty of like, oh, you've got a mate that's a tennis coach. You'll always plug in for a few tips or anything like that. There's people that are guilty of that sort of thing, but really you should be charging for that. But
100%. I just did my brother's tax return this morning. I get nothing. I get I don't even get a drink. It's not when I know how much he earns. Yeah, can I just quickly ask you something? When I probably go to our local pub once a month, and there are a couple of clients in there. That's fine, but yeah, I get it all the time, and I am the worst at charging for advisory. My billing structure is all on the tasks, the compliance tasks. I've not done in this value pricing that is recommended to us all now. I still can't get my head around it. I'm a timesheet trained person that's billed by time, that I've got to the monthly, but it's like accounts, tax, blah, blah. So when it comes to advice, it's by the hour in my head still, and I am trying to shake it. I really struggled with the pricing transition from being a side hustle to being a full-time job, because it was all friends. I was doing tax returns for 50 quid. Like it was nuts. And I remember my boss even said to me in the day job, you are charging yourself out way too cheap for that. Oh yeah, you just help. It's never going to be a big thing like for me. So, I just left it as that. So when we had to go through this whole repricing thing, and I'm still doing it. I'm still trying to get friends and that up. But I've got an IFA who has helped me way before I started the side hustle with a mortgage, and we work really well together now, and we like cross refer. I'm recording it for anyone that's listening. I am recording all my referrals now. Okay, Will told me to do it, and I know what I'm doing now. I think it was you that said to me about it at Caltech.
Yeah,
maybe it was. Oh, okay. Well, I'm saying it's you. Take the credit. And and he gets a discount from me. But because we're not doing anything, we're not gotten a referral scheme in place or anything like that. But he still gets a discount from me. So I'm just, even though he rings me all the time about advice for himself as well. So I have not quite mastered the art of charging your friends what you should be charging them.
It doesn't even have to be friends, though, right? I'm sure there's some of the referrals that come through your pipeline that are fishing for a bit of free advice when they're not happy with their accountant and stuff like that. Do you find it easier when it's, I presume it's probably easier when it's not someone that's connected?
You say that. I had someone come in yesterday and about tax return. So I was just onboarding him. He was there an hour taking lots of advice from me about various different things and what to claim, and then going off. He's now going off and doing his tax return himself. And we never had a pre-agreed fee or anything like that because it was just popping in. So this does happen to me. So lesson to everyone else: stick to a time limit on any meeting, because when you go over that, it's too late. You can't go back to someone afterwards and be like, right, now you spent an hour of my time, it's 150 quid. They're like, okay, bye. Then you need to get ahead of it and be like, you only get 15 minutes with me. And I think there's a lot of accountants out there that I follow on LinkedIn that have mastered that really well. And I think it's probably because they've gone through the same experience as me, as being stung, and you end up giving away advice for free, and then they go off and do it themselves.
There's one, and I'm sure. You go on, James.
No, I say, well, it does well like that because you give away time. It affects the other services you're delivering.
Yeah, it definitely does. There's one firm that I know he won't mind me sharing this. Peter Jarman's firm. When they do an initial consultation, they ask for a Google review.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have done that.
All
Peter
that
Jarman has
comes from
actually told me to do that. He told me 2 years ago.
Or they charge for it.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's a win-win, isn't it? It's a great strategy in terms of getting your practice out there one way.
Yeah,
I think half the time I don't know that it's going to be that. That's the problem. I think it's going to be a quick dropping off my ID, signing the engagement letter, blah, blah, and then it ends up with the chat, and then it's like, okay, bye.
That's why
Never
you just
to
do all
see
that.
you again.
Don't do it in person, mate.
Yeah. You can say do it online.
Do everything. Do it all online. If you want to chat, you sign this first, and then you come in.
Exactly.
I feel like I need a timer. I need like a 15-minute timer. Cut off.
Speed engagement with Amy here. Speed engagement.
I could do that with Microsoft Copilot.
Buzzer goes. Move on to the next one.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I wonder if you could do that with Microsoft Copilot. A timer, a time limit.
You've not got an Alexa in your office?
No. What? Just have an alarm going up?
As they're walking in, go. I'm not going to say it because I've got one in the room. Set a timer for 15 minutes, and then in 15 minutes' time, it's going to go off, and then you know to kick them out of the office.
That's really tempting, but I don't know how a client would take that. I don't know.
Can you not get like a fake fire alarm going in your office?
They don't need to know it's for that. You can just it's I've got another meeting. Sorry, so I need to go.
Jokes aside, I think I'm going to actually put a timer on the it counts up. I think I'm going to see if I can count down from 15 minutes.
What, on the Teams meeting?
On your Teams, yeah.
Yeah. You might have to do that, potentially.
I'll come back next week. Tell you if I've got it. There you go.
If you build for every bit of free time or free advice that you gave away, you'd probably be pretty well on. Right, I imagine, James, I'm sure you've got some stories about that material.
Yeah, it is. I mean, we're learning, like Amy, and we're now. I'm being a lot firmer with when clients obviously come on board with the prospect. As a prospect, what service do they want? They always want that time to talk through things, and I'm being that. I am being a bit strict on. Is a bit stricter. Some of them still a little bit of scope creep on. I'll be, it's fine. You've come from this person. I know them very well, and so I still do that a bit. But yes, going back to it, we are being firmer on, if they want 4 meetings a year, they pay for it on top of what they're already for compliance stuff. If they want 2 meetings, they pay for it. We always do as part of the compliance a pre-year check-in anyway, just to make sure that we're gearing them up for the year end, making them aware of anything they can do before anything happens. So that's kind of is thrown in anyway. But the other stuff is we're trying to be, come up with the right strategy to price, and that's a bit hard because it's dependent on. I think probably I thought about this too much, because obviously you might have a business that's 150k compared against a business that's 3 million, and they're just different things involved, different variables, and therefore the one with 3 million, there's other factors in there, looking at capex expenditure and all this sort of thing, and you got to plan. And 150k is just like, how much am I going to put in my pension pot?
Yeah.
Yeah. and it's the same. Sorry.
I was going to say, we're going to cover off pricing quite a lot in the next episode, so don't want to jump into that too much.
But it's interesting. But
our own fun.
But it's trying. I think I always have been, probably the coaching background. I've been in schools of going above and beyond, and I still do. I try and make sure people come away with a positive experience. And as I say, my wife moans at me all the time, saying, you've done it again. You're giving away your time. So
you keep it in check.
You're late at home for dinner again.
Yeah. I still get that. I'm not an accountant, so don't worry. So we touched on it a little bit around sort of strategies and stuff, and how you've gone out there. But Amy, you're obviously I think both of you are quite active on LinkedIn. So do you get much business from that sort of thing? And have you used anything like SEO or ads, like Google Ads or anything like that too? And what sort of traction?
I have. So LinkedIn has been particularly good from connecting with accountants. I'd say probably 98% is accountants on my own LinkedIn, which I always hear people go on stage and saying, like, why are you connecting with accountants? And I'm like, just little old me here going, I want to connect with accountants because I need to let them know that I'm here for the audit side. So I do meet people, and I've met other auditors, and I'm trying to meet more auditors to get a kind of community going there. So anyone listening wants to be my friend and they're an auditor, find me, Amy Hancock, FCCA. And
follow.
And so that always got to get in a little plug in.
She'll have a book out. She'll have a book out.
Yeah, exactly. Amy Hancock. Okay.
I mean, as long as I could talk the whole book, I'll do the audio book. Yeah. That's fine. I could talk for Britain. So actually, I'd say in the last year, it took a while to get to that point, but having hashtag audit Amy, there you go, another plug. As a tagline, it's kind of like, Amy, audit Amy. And I didn't start that, by the way. That was Rachel Harris. So thanks, Rachel Harris. And I have got work through that. I have met accountants, and people tag me in things and whatnot. So the audit side, I get work from LinkedIn. I'd say that's bigger than word of mouth, to be honest, on the audit side. On the normal compliance side, Facebook gets a little bit. I think it's more of a kind of tool for people to search for you. They always ask for recommendations on Facebook, I find, and then as long as your clients or your friends are tagging you in it, great. Website, that was one of the first things that I did when I decided that I wanted to leave, because I know people go to Google, obviously other search engines available, go to Google accountants Dunstable, and I will, to this day, every week I Google accountants Dunstable and I see where I rank in there. I mean, I did it myself, the website myself. I did a GoDaddy platform. I got the .com. I got .uk, because I was like, right, I'm doing this. I'm going to get them all, and I maintain it with my admin. Between us, we maintain it. But I have paid for a marketing lady, Dawn, who has been in and checked out the website for SEO search. So I know, and she's actually given me a report, so I know what I've got to do. I still probably don't have the optimum words and stuff, and I do change the words on the website quite a bit as I see the Google performance reports that come through every month and whether I'm going up and down. So I do look at them myself. I don't necessarily know what I'm doing. If I had the money, I would hand the website over to a person that does it for a living and go, knock yourself out, go and get more. I did get Yellow Pages to look at it once. I got roped into a Yellow Pages subscription. I got out of it though.
Painful.
I know.
Your
That
first
was a
page.
painful experience.
Your first page. I've just done it.
You just what?
I've just put accountants Dunstable into Google on your first page, so you're doing it.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I do try. But Yellow Pages did rate mine an 8 point something out of 10. I was like, thank you. And I did it all by myself. So that was a couple of years ago. Very pleased with that. Yeah, oh, well, I'll make a note of that. I haven't checked out this week. First, nice one.
There you go.
Google reviews. Google reviews. Going to get clients to do a Google review. So every time they do a tax return, they get an email automatically to ask for a Google review. And then we track who's giving us reviews. And also, I've forgotten what the second one was. Blogs on the website. If I do blogs, because obviously you're then updating your website like periodically. I think that's what's got me up on the search engines, because I've never paid for Google ads. They're always hundreds of pounds. I've never had that spare, unfortunately, to do that. I dabbled in Facebook ads a couple of times, but it never got me anywhere. So I put like a tenner in to last like a day, and it just didn't. If you've got the money,
41 5-star reviews is not bad going on there.
I'm aiming for 50.
And you're top of the list on the map. You know the little map that comes up. You're the first one underneath the little map. Look at that.
Amazing. Yeah, we have gone to town on the Google reviews, getting clients to do Google reviews. That's where Hotel Chocolat comes in.
When I gave you one, I didn't get Hotel Chocolat. What's that all about?
I thought I sent you one. I definitely sent you something. Does that mean now that I'm changing it to a referral or something, I've got to give you money?
Yes, please.
I'll buy you a drink for that, James. I'll buy you a drink.
It's fine. It's fine. I'll remember. What's the saying? Elephant never forgets.
And you've got someone that does your marketing stuff, James, have you? Or?
Yeah, Kelly does our social media stuff. Our website's GTA website's down at the moment, and that's because I've taken it down. Oh, I've taken it down.
Oh,
it's been redone. So when we went for the rebrand, obviously we had another partner overseeing it. I'm obviously not allowed to say too much what's going on with that, but obviously basically off the back of it, there were some things in there that shouldn't have been in there that referred to another practice. So we decided to pull it down. But it's been redone. The SEO, obviously, we got someone doing it for us. Obviously, yes, it's obviously an expensive outlay, but for us, we got to get the SEO right. Obviously, you type in accountants in Petersfield. We have a presence. We're not top, but we have a few reviews. But we have our, we've got GTA Accounting and Garrett Adam Accountants both on there. So it points to us. So I'll always leave the Garrett Adam one there as well. So it's just another way of capturing something. So because obviously there are some accountants who have paid to be number one on Google, so you're never going to beat them. So that's the point. So we've got to make sure that we continue with ramping up our Google reviews, which is the next strategy going to be in from September, which Kelly's going to drive for us. So it's quite good that I've really tried to do it, and then you get busy when you're doing your business. And then you're trying to do everything, and now it's that point where it's like, okay, I'm going to come a cropper here at the moment because I haven't got time to do everything. So I need to make sure that I'm now sort of the advice I'm giving to clients, which is to make sure that we're, delegating to people who are better than you.
Yeah.
Because you start your practice, you start any business, you're doing everything. You're the sales guy. You're the admin person. You got to do the work. You got to do the marketing. You could somehow work and also win more work, and then there comes a point where you're just saying, you got to stop, or you're on a hamster wheel, you're going to burn yourself out. So I've kind of, after a painful 4 months at work, it's been a process of where people better than me and making sure that they're now doing it, and And yes, it has cost, but that then means hopefully I'm going to get a better return. And if it doesn't, then I have to review it and be honest enough to look at it and make those difficult changes again.
Yeah. And do you see how much traffic? No, this might be a bit of a question you don't want to answer, but how many people are making inquiries on your website on a daily, weekly basis?
I don't know at the moment. It's down.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you, obviously.
I've been
When it was up.
We were getting 5-10 a week.
Wow, okay.
But it was a lot of it was, I'm not going to lie, people were trying, because obviously prices weren't on there. So people were, I think, were using us as a bargaining tool against their previous existing accountants. There is a lot of that going on at the moment, especially down our way at the moment going on, where people are inquiring, but they're eking out our prices are, and then going away and then using it against their other accountants. We're not pricing cheaply, trust me, but we are being used at times as a bargaining tool against their current accountants.
I'm only getting I'm getting one or two maybe. I do get some through QuickBooks Pro Advisor, so I'm listed as an accountant on there, and I'm very much more comfortable with QuickBooks than any other provider. So we put in effort to put reviews on there as well. So I get maybe one a month through there. But yeah, one or two a week through the website. I actually list our prices, so maybe that's why I maybe don't. Maybe they filtered and gone, do you know what? I'll go with a cloud-based or another one. Trying to filter, but it has pros and cons, which obviously we will talk about next week when we talk about pricing. But yeah, I'm hoping that kind of filters out the noise. I did have book your own meeting with me on there, and it just ended up getting loads of sales calls. So I think that lasted about a couple of weeks, and then I took it off. So they have to go through, fill in a form, it comes to me, and then they get an email with a link to have a call. So we kind of filter through them.
That actually makes me a little bit angry.
What, that I don't put it on?
I would never do. No, I would
Oh.
never. As a salesperson, I would never
No.
use your meeting link on the website to book in a sales call.
No,
That is
it's either
a handed way of reaching someone that just is never going to buy any favour to anybody. And if someone does it to me, I instantly stop the call.
Oh, do you? I mean,
It's obviously not there for you, is it? That link, like
No.
what? Just ring me. If I want to speak to you, I'll pick up the phone.
Yeah.
Has anyone noticed that? I don't know whether it's just on my phone. Recently, it's like likely nuisance comes up on your phone. On my
What is it?
iPhone now.
So like those spam calls and stuff.
Yeah. It's like likely nuisance. But no, it was the sales calls mainly for outsourcing, like offshoring companies, like you do on LinkedIn and all of the. And that's the downside of LinkedIn is you kind of some real people are kind of like within the noise.
Yeah.
So using that as a marketing tool can be quite difficult. At least if they go through your website, you know they're real because they've taken the time to fill out the form and explain about themselves. So
I think as well, like things like LinkedIn, it's very difficult to build a network unless you're like going after a specific industry. And that's why it's quite easy, like you were saying, Amy, to build up like accountants because you just want to connect with accountants. But where you're just serving SMEs, like, you know, who do we go and try and connect with? There's so many.
Everyone.
Every business owner that's on this platform, I want to connect with them. It's like,
yes.
What's your tack, James, on
What's
LinkedIn?
That?
What's your approach?
Me at the moment, I haven't got one, as you can probably tell.
Okay.
This is just go in.
See what happens.
Yeah. No, going back. Yeah, I just go and wind people up. That's all I'm doing. I go in.
No, he does. Sometimes he comments, and I see the comment. I'm like, oh, here we go. When it turns a little bit like Facebook, when people say LinkedIn's like Facebook, James is there.
Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Like, I feel like sometimes we're in a bit of an echo chamber where people just agree for the sake of agreeing sometimes because they don't want to stand out, but they put themselves out there. But if it's something you know something about and you want to comment on it, then all for it.
I don't, as you both know, I don't take myself very seriously. and I'm what you see is what you get, and and that's probably my approach in LinkedIn. Sometimes I see something I don't like, and I'll comment, and I will say, make a comment about it, and equally, if I see something I'm being genuine, and I will comment on that as well. But for me, LinkedIn's about creating, I've almost a collaboration with people. I've probably since being more active on LinkedIn and won one client off it. That's it. But that's not what I went on LinkedIn for. It was to see what was going on with the industry, especially like you say, we had our profiles when we were employed, and we were told what we had to say, what we couldn't say. And I just felt that wasn't me. I'm being told what to do, and it becomes very corporate, very PC. Yeah. No, so it's now I'm going to show what I'm like, and also, but out of it, there has been collaboration where people have come to me asking for some help, and I've given it to them. I believe that creates that, and out of it, friendships has been formed.
Yeah, I think there's different avenues that you can use the social strategies for, right? It's not just about winning new business. It can be about that community element. And I think you mentioned it earlier. You're sharing into like the local groups, or adding value into those local sort of Facebook groups or LinkedIn communities or whatever it might be. Yes, it might not pay dividends right now, but in 3, 6, 12 months down the line, when someone's talking to their mate down the pub about their accountant, there was this one accountant that commented on, she was really nice. Go and have a chat
It does
to her.
happen.
Yeah,
No
of
word
course
of
it
a lie.
does.
That happened in the pub here. I mean, I've been doing a few charities lately, local charities, and they're not massive money makers for any auditors to do. But it gets you in front of more
Yeah,
people as well,
yeah.
because there's people that take to charity a lot, and like, oh, I wonder, oh, you're doing that, oh, amazing, I might need you. I'm like, okay, good, that here's a card when I've got them.
It's interesting off the back of that, because obviously I'm in Ryan Piercy put about burnout, and I commented about saying about take care of yourself. I think it was after Jordan's comment, guide your time, take care of yourself. And 2 people have approached me to go and do talks about burnout, and I'm like, that's happened.
Nice.
I mean, one's happening next week. I can't do it. I'm away, but I wasn't expecting that. They were, direct approach. We've seen you. One wants me to go and appear on their podcast about burnout. So that sort of thing. Oh, okay, that's interesting. It's just a genuine. Like I said, it was a genuine concerned comment I made, showing who I am, and something's come out of it.
I think it's
Potentially.
Ashley Lead says commenting is currency. Like, it really does carry over for your own algorithms as well on LinkedIn, right? I mean, the more you comment, the more your name gets out there, the more connection requests you get, the more you engage with not just other people's content, but engage with the comments that are on your content as well, making sure that you're replying to everyone and actually going through that process. We could probably talk all day about LinkedIn.
Yeah.
So no, we're not gonna. If you were someone sort of starting out on their own, what would be your advice to them to go and sort of win those new clients? Obviously, they might have a few friends that they're working with, but outside of that sort of avenue, where would you sort of send them, or give them encouragement to go and speak to people?
I would probably look at local networking. They all advertise on Facebook. Go and start there, meet people. It doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get business out of it. I think I've got a handful of clients out of networking, but locally. But it's about just being on someone's mind, being present, being on someone's mind. But also you're with other business owners that are doing different things. And I've got an HR lady that I don't work with, but we've spoken about various different things in the local area, recruitment and whatnot. And the same with the marketing. God, marketers are so good, and they're willing to share little hints and tips. So actually being with them can help you whilst you're growing and you're all of these hats. Just attempt it, and then you've got a contact for the future. So it's helping you grow as well as getting yourself out there. If you don't like 60-second pitches like me, just leave before they go, because that's what I do. except when they're at the start. Turn up late, it's fine. And then just have a badge. Have a badge with your name on. Get a badge made. One of those magnetic ones. That's a good one.
We'll order
and
Amy
then
on, yeah.
I don't have one, but I should create one.
Oh, God.
It's another thing before next week. Thank you,
Ordered Amy
guys.
on that name badge.
I mean, I've got the neon sign that is ready to go. So next time we record, it will be in the background, #order Amy. So yeah, definitely get out in the local community, local networking groups.
I hope it's green.
It's not green.
Is it blue?
No.
It's blue.
Drama, controversial.
Oh,
Do you know what? It can't be green because
they're having you out.
Hang on. Free agent is blue. I'll have you know as well. Yeah, and Intuit is blue. Okay.
Yeah,
Intuit that owns QuickBooks.
No, you did the hole's got big. The hole's very big. You dug a big hole.
Where I do QuickBooks Labs podcasts with Aaron, that's his thing, the green QuickBooks chap. So I've got the blue. I mean, I was going to go red, and then I thought, no, that might refer back to James's comment earlier. I just don't really. The red is associated with that. It took you a second to think and then clock and then smile.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Is that purple?
It's blue.
It is blue. See?
But
it's all about the blues.
Yeah, it's all about the blue.
James, where's your neon sign?
Yeah.
Outside the front.
Yeah, you can have one on that wall. That'd be quite cool.
Yeah, I'll get one. Yeah, we're changing in this room anyway, so there'll be some interesting things going on. But going back to what you were saying about if you're starting on your own now, I think I agree. Going back and networking is good, but also potentially doing something that maybe not been done before and offering a workshop or something to get people. I always think like if I was to do it again, because I probably feel a bit more confident now, but would be to go and set up a workshop to create awareness.
Set up your own networking event.
Yeah, and to see what you capture, because you know, yes, you're gonna, yeah, exactly that point. We'll just do something different, not necessarily go and join something existing, but create something, because people are always looking to. No disrespect, around here we've got a lot of networking events, and there's always one accountant, one solicitor, one HR person, one person offering massage, one person being a hairdresser, you know, and that's it. That's the group. So
have a masseuse at my networking event? I'm missing out.
Yeah, but
networking on the massage table.
yeah, but okay, it's just an example. You know, so it's the unknown, isn't it? You're just trying to do different things, aren't you? But yeah, I mean, and one of our clients who was getting frustrated, I've actually encouraged her and helped her set up one in the village I live in. So she's driving it.
You see it in the industry, like in this industry now, right? You've got so many vendors that are putting on like just little round tables, little networking for accountants to come together. It's the same. Why could accountants not do that for business owners?
Yeah.
Why could you not put on a few drinks in a bar somewhere, or a light lunch somewhere that you invite 10, 15, 20 business owners to, and they all share stories and you talk about business, and it just brings people together.
She's very rightly so devised it so a shared co-working space. So they go to, there's a centre in the centre of the village we are, and they've got a cafe there. So a few of them go and meet on a Friday morning, have coffees, you know, and there's no subscription fees. If you don't make it, it's fine. There's been a couple of events at a pub in the midweek. People have had a bad week. Do they need to go and de-stress, just vent? So it's like almost like a safe space to go.
Only being a business owner sometimes, right? So
no, it is, but so that I always think like, would I go back and just do that, do an event that would promote what do, but also attract something, and you sort of think, okay, this is interesting, because then they might not necessarily be looking for an accountant, but they might know someone who does.
Yeah, exactly.
So you just, as I say, I always say, don't be afraid to try something.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, guys, I think we're at time very much. We've lived fast. This has been quite a long episode. Well,
We-
45
we-
minutes. We could carry on, I think, as well. But
Jeez.
next episode, like I said, we're talking about a bit of pricing, so it kind of leads quite nicely on to from winning clients. Obviously, you need to win them with the right price, right pricing structure. Make sure you're making some money, and so yeah, next time we'll be talking about pricing with confidence, value versus time. But yeah, appreciate you guys' time. Appreciate everyone listening in, and hopefully you've got some nice little tidbits out of this this podcast. Cheers, James. Cheers, Amy.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
Thanks
you.
everyone for listening.
See you soon.
See you
Goodbye.
later.
Thanks so much for listening to the Bean Counter to Boss podcast. I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you could leave us a review, subscribe, that would be incredible, as it really does help to get the word out there for our little podcast. Hopefully see you again in a couple of weeks' time for the next episode.